Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today we're going to try to build a tongue drum. This is going to be a second video in a series of Christmas gifts that I'm building. So this is going to be for, I'm not sure exactly who yet, one of my nephews or nieces. So it's not necessarily like a professional level instrument where we are building a child's toy, but it will be usable hopefully by the end of it. This is the first one I've ever done, so well, if I've posted this, it worked. Anyway, I'm going to try to build it out of one fence picket, but the pickets I have on hand, I didn't have a 12-inch section without any knots, and I don't want any knots in here when I go cutting through, because they might, break and come away, and it's going to mess up our tuning. So it's kind of important that our top piece should be pretty much knot free. I'm not sure what's exactly caused that discoloration, but it'll be okay. We'll live with it. So we wanted a piece, like I said, about 12 inches long of no knots. This is a little bit over, so this part's going to get cut off, and that's scrap. But we just, first I measured down from the top a 1/2 inch and connected that line. And then from here we're going down in 1.5 inch increments. So from the top, this is 2 inches, 3.5 inches, 5 inches. Make those same marks on this side using our speed square, and then connect those lines using our other square, carpenter square. Okay, so, and then I came off this edge 1 inch to make that line, and 1 inch, well, from this line to this line is 10 inches, and then from this line to here, another inch. So that's our excess that we're gonna cut off. So I've made this to like a 10-inch scale length. Like I said, this is my first one, so I don't really know what I'm doing, but from what I read online, that should give me, hopefully, near the key of C, a pentatonic scale here. And these measurements I also took from online, so I'll go over that with you, but I didn't come up with these myself. So our longest piece here will be 6 1/4 inches long, and on the other side of that will give us a 3 3/4 inch piece to make our full 10 inches. Then we got a 5 3/4, 4 1/4, 5 1/4, 4 3/4. So this should be our lowest note, and go do 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 do, right? Some people online were saying if you're going with the 10-inch scale length, go ahead and make it 10.5 or 11 inches long, so that you have a 1/2 inch or 1 inch gap between your pieces. But since this is my first one, really experimental and everything, I'm just going with this layout. It's pretty simple for me. So all I'm gonna do is cut this off, probably with the circular saw. I'm gonna drill a hole at each corner, just so all of these are easy to line up and connect. But I'm actually going to use multi-tool, oscillating multi-tool, to cut along all 4 of these lines, and then between the keys at 3 lines. So then I should end up with a frame, basically, with 6 keys on it. So let me get to work on that. I'll try to show you what I'm doing. All right, real quick. So I cut that end off. So that's our full piece. That's our top, our tapa. And I drilled right at the corner of each of these lines, trying to stay like right to the inside of each line as best I could. So theoretically, to finish this, well, I mean, I could still tune it afterwards, but to get this, the basics of it done, it's going to take this multi-tool, cut along these lines, stopping at these lines, don't go beyond these lines, So all 4 of these cut all the way across. And then 3 cuts right on these lines. Boom, boom, boom. So I'm gonna attempt that, and I'll show you what it looks like afterwards. Alright, so we got all of our tongues cut out. It's not super clean. I'm gonna come back and sand this down some on both sides. It's really difficult. I gotta hold it in the really exact position to get any kind of resonance out of it. And my tuner actually really can't hardly pick up what notes we're getting. So I'll have to come back to you on, if this is in tune and everything. But if I hold it right about here and I use my little mallet, I can actually hear dum, 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 dum. I mean, those are not the notes, but you know what I'm saying. You can actually hear a little bit of an actual tone, an actual sound come from them. So I'm hoping that once I build my box, we'll be able to get a little bit more resonance and actually be able to hear the notes a little bit better. So I've got 3 more pieces, same length, 12 inches overall. So that's our long sides and bottom. And then our short sides are going to be 5 inches. And so that's actually, let's see here. Show you. Gonna make us hang over a little bit like that. It's on purpose because I want the long edges to not be touching these tongues. They gotta stay to the outside. And really, the less contact, the better, theoretically. So yeah, I've got bottom and 2 long sides, 2 short sides. Everything's just butt joints. So I'm going to go ahead and glue and brad nail this whole little box together. I'm not gonna glue and brad the bottom on. I think I'm gonna screw it on, but the sides will all go together. The reason I'll screw the bottom on is so that once we do put the top on, the bottom will be removable for tuning those, hopefully, if we ever get there. Remember that this is a child's toy, so they're going to be able to hit it with sticks no matter how it sounds and be happy with it. I'm talking about, I don't want to give away any identifying information about my nieces and nephews, but we'll say it's for somebody around the age of 4 or 5 years old. So as long as they're able to hit it with sticks, they don't care. They're going to have fun. So that's what we should do while we're building it. Just have some fun. Okay, so got our box together. The bottom is screwed on. Went ahead and put a 1 1/4 inch hole in the front or back, however you want to look at it, for a sound hole. And I did go ahead and screw the top on. It's being a little finicky. I can get some resonance. Some of them sound good, but some of them are dead. But then if I can hold down really tight here, then it'll sound better. So that's why there's like 6 screws. I ran out of matching screws, so I've got to use mismatched screws, but I'll probably need another one or even 2 on each end. I had talked about leaving that bottom. The reason I didn't glue it on at first is because I was going to take this off and go in there and try to tune these keys. But I I've realized that just a few degrees difference in temperature throws these keys off by like almost a half step, a whole step. So like, even if I try to tune them, they're just never gonna hold tune, and that's really mostly just because we've used, you know, really cheap material here. If I had gone with like some, I don't know, like birch or something else, probably turned out a little bit better. But this is gonna be good enough for a kid to learn on, play around with. So what I'm gonna do from here, all I'm gonna do to finish this up, I'm gonna take this top back off, sand it down, get it cleaned up. I'm going to get some like siliconized rubber or something like that to go along all of the seams on the inside of the box, just to make sure they're all very well sealed up. We want the sound hole and the gaps between the keys to be the only air leaks. I'll take that bottom off. I'll put a bead of whatever kind of sealant we're going to use, siliconized rubber or something. Put the bottom back on and screw it on back on. I might paint the whole body and stain the top, something like that. And then when I go to put the top back on, I'll do the same thing. We'll put a whole bead of some kind of sealant all the way around. Put that back on, screw it back in real good and tight. Probably add a couple more screws. It is imperative this thing gets tight to that body as possible to try to get any sound out of that. So yeah, doesn't sound dead because it's not as tight over here. So I got to work on that, clean everything up, seal up all the gaps, and then paint and stain, and it'll be done. Pretty decent little toy. Tongue drum, definitely not professional quality tongue drum. You would have to use better quality material, sadly. But this is gonna be, you know, plenty of fun for a kid. So I'll check back in with you once it's done. Okay, we got it all done. Got it painted the sides red. I went with a very light gray for the bottom, and I decided to actually leave the top just natural. I didn't stain it or anything. I did put a thin coat of polycrylic spray on there, and I did add another screw on each end, as well as I did all of the I caulked all the seals and corners and everything, and I think it definitely sounds a bit better. So see, this side didn't ring hardly at all, and now it does. Yeah, so there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. That's our tongue drum for a child's toy. Not a professional quality instrument by any means, but it can be played. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave a like, hype me up, leave a subscription, share me, tell your friends about me, help me out. Come back and check out what I do next.